What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Big Shot Show. In today's video, we're going to be doing my 2-week review of Modern Warfare 2, 2022, and Warzone 2. A lot of twos in that name. Anyways, we're going to be diving in, checking out what I think of the new updated version of Warzone 2 and Modern Warfare 2, and all the new updates, and what I think could be changed to maybe make the game a little bit better for, you know, the players, since that's what we all care about. So it's my ideas. Maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. Also, while you're there, go ahead, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, and ring the bell. I'd appreciate it. Thank you. And without further ado, let's get cracking, shall we? First thing, just about multiplayer as a whole, is that the weapon leveling is a grueling slog unless you have double weapon XP. And it's also hard to just get attachments, since you have to like level this gun over here to get this attachment on this gun over here, and then also you have to go through the chain of all the weapons to get this last weapon leveled up so that the first weapon that you actually want to use has the attachment that you want to use on it. So that's my first note. It's just that weapon leveling is kind of a slog. It's all right. I kind of like the multi-use weapon thing just because it gets me using other guns, but I also like using the gun I'm good at, and that's why making me use other guns sucks at the same time. But it's just that leveling up a gun can take so long. It takes so long, so it's kind of like I don't know. It's just a slog. That's all, I guess. Another note for the multiplayer as a whole is just that prestige doesn't seem to matter. As you can see right here, I'm level 154, and I haven't unlocked anything special or new or fancy since prestiging, because nowadays, you start with all 10 of your custom classes available and unlocked out already at the get-go. I guess I got a new emblem each time I prestiged, but I'm thinking maybe heighten the stakes a little bit and throw a little bit more into the pot, if you will. Something such as like unlocking new skins for characters, unlocking new blueprints for weapons, and getting like other extras like those double XP tokens for weapon XP and character XP. I think that if you prestige, you should get something in reward as a reward for hitting that new prestige level, you know? So that's just me, but I think that prestige should do something so that it actually matters. Sure, it's cool to show off like, hey, I'm level, 1000 at some point, but at the same time, like, it'd be cool if you earned something along the way for doing that, you know? DMZ. So, you guys, if you guys have been in stream at all, you've seen that I've been playing some DMZ here and there. I've kind of been overwhelmed and off of it lately, just mainly because the AI ranged from super easy to super duper insanely hard rankings and leveling, and it's impossible to kill some of these guys. And not to mention, some of the armored foes have so much armor, it costs you like a mag and a half to get them actually knocked down. As well as I'm always literally surrounded, always getting shot from one way or another. And sometimes these AI are shooting before I even round the corner, and I get knocked before I can even, get sight on them. So it's just a little extreme on the AI, ranging from like, oh, okay, I can run around freely and do whatever I want, to all of a sudden they're like way past realistic level of the game, Looting in the game is kind of pointless right now, as you're looting to grab these gray and white and black objects that you then go to the buy station, sell, and spend the money, but the money that you have doesn't actually matter because it all converts to XP at the end of the game anyways. So even if you never went to the buy station to sell anything, you still get XP in the same amount of that dollar amount that is associated to that object, whatever it was. So it's kind of like looting and grabbing and getting money all kind of mean nothing except for XP. So like that's kind of cool, but at the same time, I think it would be cool to have something like a workbench or like a home base kind of a thing, a lot more like Tarkov, I guess, in a sense. But just that workbench would be a huge thing where you could break apart your contraband weapons, and then maybe you get like the scope and the silencer off of that, and then you can put them on other contraband weapons that you have or whatever. Also, that you could build new blueprints if you collected enough materials of one or another. Get new skins or stickers or emblems call signs. Even if you could like build your own charms that are customizable, you know, they're their own custom charms that you unlock and you build, and then you can put it on your gun and play with it in any form of multiplayer. Something where looting actually, you know, means something. Something where looting actually means something outside of just in that game and just XP for your character, you know? Also, along with that comes the whole release of the M13B, and soon throughout the season, I'm imagining the Battle Pass season, there will be the Honey Badger will get added. I don't like that it's exclusively through this game mode. Like, it has to be in DMZ so that you can get the M13B, and then I eventually, like I say, the Honey Badger probably. But not only that, every individual player has to extract with the M13B. So not just like, hey, we got the M13B, we extracted, all 4 of us get the thing. Each individual, so that's 4 separate runs that you have to go where you get the M13B. And as I recently found out, players are selling M13B runs online, where they're selling the gun, like where they are selling the fact that they will get you into the match, get the gun, and extract out of the match with the gun. Or, you know, you have other things where people are just giving their friends the gun afterwards. So it's like they tried to implement this idea. It didn't go quite as well as they thought because it was a kind of a bad idea, honestly. And if they were to just like make it so you could achieve it through ranking up the Bass P SMG or some other means of unlocking it, it would probably have been a much more warm welcomed release for the M13B. Otherwise, yeah, we're getting people, you know, selling runs and going around the corners, and here, you take the gun, we'll head straight to the extract. So I didn't like how that seems to be the only way to get that gun. It kind of takes the fun out of it, I guess, in the sense that I feel forced and obligated to play this game mode so that I can unlock a gun that I want to use in Warzone in multiplayer, you know? Yeah, I really just think that the whole team should be getting the gun when you extract. I also kind of think that maybe would they add a few more bosses at a few more POIs. We have the helicopter boss, whatever he's called, the Warzone boss, I guess, and he's around in the helicopter, which is kind of a pain in the butt. But if there was more POI bosses, kind of like the chemist, because the chemist is another boss in the game, I would say. Only in the irradiated zone, though. So if there was like some other, you know, I don't know, middle tier bosses that where, you know, you got good stuff off of them and then you could sell that for money and stuff eventually. And if they actually implemented it, then you could take that money to your workbench, buy parts off of the black market. Kind of like Tarkov, exactly like Tarkov. Maybe don't call it the black market, but you could buy parts from, you know, buy parts and customize your contraband guns. And then you can also, you know, customize your custom guns. Like they have the custom slot, but that's the only slot that you have. But you have all these contraband guns that when you break, they mean nothing. They don't do anything. You don't get any parts. You don't get any ammo. Nothing. It's just gone. And there's no XP associated with it either. So it's like, what is the point of doing it? So add a workbench in a marketplace where you could actually like trade and sell things. And if you could trade with other online players, like you just put this up, kind of like how the Diablo 3 marketplace was intended to be, without being real money, obviously being like in-game money. But you know, where you could be like, here, I'm selling this gun, or I'm selling this suppressor, I'm selling this scope, whatever you want, you could put on there, or you could trade and be like, here is my, you know, here's my AK-74U, and in return, you get the Bass P SMG, something like that, you know? It would be awesome to have like another way of like trading and buying and selling parts and guns in the game. As right now, like I said, they're all contraband guns and you can't do anything with them but destroy them, and destroying them means nothing. It would also be cool if you could like exfil with blueprints for guns. Again, kind of going back to like the prestige thing, I guess, where if you could actually like exfil with blueprints, you get the one blueprint from the case extract. But if there was ways that you could build that blueprint, you know, like there's like a list of all the blueprints in the game or whatever, and you could extract with those parts, and then you can make that gun, make that blueprint, and then you have that gun accessible to you. I think that would be really awesome. That's another way of making DMZ kind of, you know, a working towards something instead of just working towards getting XP and extracting. Now for Warzone, I have a lot of notes for Warzone. The first one is that there's too many AI in Warzone. Why are there even AI in Warzone? I'll give them the strongholds. I kind of like the idea, but AI should not be outside of the strongholds, and you shouldn't be running into them anywhere else other than at that exact building once you open the door. Other than that, there should not be any AI on the map, really. Otherwise, what's the difference between DMZ and Warzone 2, you know? If there's AI in both, what difference is there? Also, you just get dropped way too fast. You have a 3-plate vest on, and you can die in 2 or 3 punches, or you get, like, you know, you barely turn a corner and somebody hits you with 4 bullets and it seems like you're done. If you're having a 3-plate, you should last longer, I feel like. I've been left many a time wondering if I even had any plates on, and I look and I'm like, oh yeah, 3-plate vest with 3 plates. Got it. Awesome. So how did I die so fast? Oh, this guy shot me twice. Got it. Cool. So it just goes back to the regular multiplayer where the TTK is just way too high. It's just way too fast. You barely have any time to like get engagement in a fight with a person before you get dropped, and then you're done and it's over. Some changes I recommend go to like the sniper. Snipers just need a buff in general. All right, there's like one sniper that I've been able to hit and break 3 plates. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But it should not take me 3 shots to just drop a guy and then a 4th one to put him out, you know? It should be like a 1 or 2 shot kind of kill kind of thing. If you have 3 plates, makes sense. I only break your plates. If you have less, I should hurt you more, you know? So it should be more like 2 shots to take a person out, basically. And there's a lot of audio errors where people are sprinting all the way up behind me and assassinating me, and I have no idea that they're even there, or that you can't tell what level they're on, like if they're above you or below you in a lot of cases. Again, there should be something, you know, for a guy being down and getting revived, like when he's jabbing himself with the needle and reviving himself, that should be giving you some audio errors or some audio cues. There just seems to be a lot of audio that I'm not getting in the game, and I just have no idea where people are or what is happening half the time. If they want to make the gulag the way that they're trying to make it, where there can be team gulags, I definitely have some changes on this one. They might not be the most popular and they might not be correct, but instead of 2v2 with random people, and you know, in some cases you're 2v2ing with somebody who wasn't on your team, and in that case, if you win, you revive back somebody that you just have to fight again later. Instead of that, I say if you end up being the only solo to be in the gulag, you should only be going up against another solo that isn't obviously your teammate. And if 2 teammates die, 2 teammates. If 3 teammates die, 3 teammates. And if quads, we have quads in the gulag. I think that would be exciting and interesting, especially since they do have the addition of floor loot. I'm not totally against that in this situation. It could, you know, it could be crazy. There's just like, you know, grenades getting lobbed back and forth by all 4 members, blah, 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 blah. But this would require one other teensy tiny change, which would be removing the timer. The timer that just gulags over, that needs to go away. I also think the jailer should go away. I understand that they don't want to make the jailer go away, but if they made the jailer go away and made these gulags the way that I'm saying, it could be a lot more interesting just without a jailer. There's too much RNG being introduced to the gulag. The gulag used to be, you know, you have this gun, you have the exact same gun, who's got the skills to win, basically. Now there's so much RNG because there's floor loot, there's the jailer, there's a timer, there's no capture flag thing in the middle anymore. There is that, but I just think if you did solos, duos, trios, and quads against each other in the gulag, that would be an awesome way of doing it. So if you get a squad wipe, it's squad wipe versus squad wipe, you know? So it would break down kind of awkwardly based on timing. You would all have to have the entire team die at the same time, obviously. Or if they died in the amount of time that you're sitting there in the waiting before you go into the gulag to fight, then that changes up whether you be a 1v1 or a 3v or a 4v4 or a 2v2. Just that if you die, you wait, and then your whole team gets wiped, then you guys go up against another team. It might add on some time to the waiting, but I've already had sometimes where I'm in there waiting for the full 2 minutes and I never encounter anybody, and then I just get kicked out, you know? That's just my take on the gulag. I think that if it was you and your teammates, that the gulag would be a lot more interesting, and if you could have a quad v quad gulag, That just sounds crazy and hectic, and I like that. Versus the jailer who comes in and then starts a minigun at your back, and you're like, wait, I wasn't. Oh, okay. Especially with the audio cues and not being able to pay attention to that while you're also trying to fight this other person and figure out where they are, you know? Lastly, for Warzone, I heard a rumor the other day that worse players get more handicaps. And I have no idea of the validity of this, but what it means by that is that if you're a bad Warzone player, your footsteps are quieter, your bullets do more damage, and you take less damage. At least this is all that I'm getting from this rumor, and that if you're a better player, your bullets do less damage, footsteps are louder, and you receive more damage. I'm not sure of the validity of this. It's just very disheartening and scary to think that that might be a reality. I really hope that's not the case, but if it is, we need to fix that too. It needs to be a level playing field for everyone. No skill gap coverage, you know. That's kind of the part of the game. That's where, you know, skill-based matchmaking and everything come into play, and having a pubs versus a ranked kind of a system. That is neither here nor there. You know, because that could also be changing how the game plays. But yeah, so that's my quick 2-week review on MW2 Warzone 2 2022. It's all of these things. I just had some input on the multiplayer, and I think that there are some ways of changing it for the better and making it a little bit more fun and engaging and entertaining, as well as also kind of leveling it out. If you guys like this video, go ahead and be sure to like it. Leave comments down below. Let me know what you guys think about all this stuff, and ring the bell and subscribe if you feel so inclined, and I would greatly appreciate it. So yeah, without further ado, remember, no matter wherever you are, have a good day, good night, and a good morning, and as always, a good shower. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.